In this video, we'll talk about qualitative research. So as the name suggests, qualitative. So the researcher is interested in the people's opinions, beliefs, and experiences. In other words, the researcher is interested in the quality of the situation. Let's say you implemented a new technology in your classroom. For example, students started using AI in your classroom, and then you are going to understand students' challenges with the AI or perceived beliefs. And when you are asking how beneficial was AI for students, then students will talk about their personal opinions. It's hard to put these opinions, or it's hard to represent these opinions with numbers. Therefore, this type of research is called qualitative research. There are two most common ways of collecting qualitative data. Number one is interviews. So, if you are going to find people's opinions, beliefs, or experiences, an easy way of doing this is having a conversation with the participant. So interviews can also be divided into three types: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Structured interviews are usually organized in the way that the researcher has pre-written questions, and the researcher cannot go off the script, so he has to ask the questions which he prepared beforehand. While unstructured interviews can be more flexible. The researcher has pre-planned questions and can ask some questions during the interview. Unstructured interviews are more of like conversations. The researcher and the participant can just sit and have an informal conversation. From this conversation, the researcher tries to draw some conclusions. Another common way of collecting qualitative data is case studies. Let's imagine in your city there is a street which is all the time green, and the people are so kind, and there is no litter or trash in the street. Then the researcher can be interested why this street is always clean and green. So he starts looking at the situation, at the neighborhood from different angle, and tries to draw some interpretations of the situation. Although interviews and case studies give us detailed personal data, there are some disadvantages of doing interviews or case studies too. They can be too time-consuming, and sometimes responses may vary from one person to another. For example, the same AI can be used by different people. One benefit, which was like one feature which was perceived as a benefit from one participant, can be perceived as a challenge by another. So, let's recap. When we are doing qualitative research, we are mainly interested in people's opinions, beliefs, and experiences. And qualitative data is usually hard to measure because it's people's beliefs. So, two common ways of collecting qualitative data is interviews and case studies.